All right, we about to start the morning grind, coffee in hand. But this one, we're gonna do this before we go. And this one going in about polarity and rhythm. So we making this a working, functioning compendium, stretching out all the laws. So this is in the regards to for people that manage to get up to a higher vibration and frequency. Like you learn, the quality of the ultraviolet spectrum is of a shorter wavelength. So that may pertain to a shorter burst of more quality frequency before the Ida and Pingala, because your frequency don't just stay up resonating high, or that's when it'll be required for you to yoke your energies and ground itself. We are to be grounded materially as we're living this life. Let's not forget that. So you don't stay floating once you reach a higher frequency or resonation. Much like the simulation, when you puff a blunt, you're going to come down. So when you come down, that's when polarity and rhythm come into effect. So that's the laws that really help you introspect. And so when you vibrate and you get up to a higher place, like we'll say for the start, before people access their heart space, people baseline, they resonating at the root. And when they elevate their energies, their ceiling may top out to the solar plexus, and then it'll drop back down to the root. But if you access one more, let's say then you become more conscientious of your access, or more sovereign or autonomous to your enlightenment, then let's say instead of going back all the way down to the root, let's say if you can consciously identify with the issues that the root brings, deal with those transgressions and those traumas, then your baseline will traverse up to the sacral. So you'll conscientiously be balancing or bounce your energies from the heart to the sacral region. Not saying the root's not important. Again, you need to learn how to ground and when to ground. But to feel when those energies, the negative archons, go back to that lesson, begin to set in. So we first and foremost, before we understand that, actually it's going to be a part of the lesson. It's going to be integral, because we're going to be playing with polarity and rhythm in retrospect of when you start to feel if you haven't dealt with the negative aspects of the archons or the chakras or your endocrine glands, you're going to feel those negatives when the energy is going back down into those glands. Then it'll tell you if you want to tune those and go back up, drop back down, tune it if you like to, go back up, to identify and help you stay in rhythm. Let's go. So first and foremost, of course, we're going to start off with the question. I say, and I'm not going to do the whole question, I know it's a long one. This question is going to be multi-layered to combine physiology with the metaphysiology of the endocrine gland system and chakra system. Can you please create an outline, and then we outline the physiology or physiological to the metaphysiological. The root chakra, Muladhara, the buttocks groin region. Physiological correlates perineum, pelvic floor, base of spine. Coccygeal plexus, pudendal nerve, that's the nervous system, endocrine organ association, adrenal glands, fight or flight response, reproductive glands, indirectly, musculoskeletal, pelvic floor muscles, gluteal region, sacrum. Metaphysiological chakra themes are for grounding, survival, stability, physical identity, safety, embodiment. Sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, the sacrococcyx region. Physiological correlates lower abdomen, sacrum. Nervous system, sacral plexus, S2, S4, located in the lower vertebrae. Endocrine organ associations, gonads, ovaries and testes. Reproductive system, kidneys and bladder, energetic influence. Metaphysiological chakra themes, creativity, sexuality, emotional flow, pleasure, adaptability, relational energy. And I'm under the impression, my apologies about the hand. I'm under the impression that when people are dealing with that, either a repression or overstimulation of aggression, as we saw in a previous clip of hyper stimulation, what do they call hyper arousal, this is that chakra that needs to be tuned. So when you start to all of a sudden become unhealthily aroused all the time, your sacral chakra, but on the vice, you need to yoke it to an upper level. So perhaps pertaining to your throat or your heart. Indeed. Solar plexus is next. Or did we finish that? We did the pleasure, adaptability, rational energy. Solar plexus chakra, Manipura. Solar plexus region, physiological, correlates to the upper abdomen around the diaphragm. Nervous system is the celiac. Solar plexus, endocrine organ associations, pancreas, insulin digestion, the liver, stomach, gallbladder, functional relationships. That's important because a lot of these hormonal centers are readily and quickly identifiably to be removed when there's an issue with these centers, such as like pancreas, like that you see deal with insulin and digestion, and the gallbladder deals with, well, it says functional relationships, but that also deals with digestion because it's I believe the regulator of the bile into the intestine, so it assists with digestion. But you need to also be aware of this because a lot of these places are taking and removing these important glands out of your body. Metaphysiological chakra themes: personal power, will, autonomy, metabolic fire, confidence. Then I just say metabolic fire, the regulator, the gallbladder being a regulator for digestion, needed for the your metabolic, what is that? What do you do? Your metabolic system. We're going to say that. Metabolic fire, confidence, self-definition. Heart chakra, anahata. Heart, chest region. Physiological, correlates to center of chest. Cardiac plexus, vagus nerve influence. Endocrine organ associations is the thymus gland. Your immune system regulation. Heart and lungs. Functional energy centers. Metaphysiological, why can't I say metaphysiological? Metaphysiological chakra themes: love, compassion, connection, emotional integration, forgiveness, empathy. The throat chakra, Vishuddha or Visuddha, the thyroid or the throat region. Physiological correlates. Location is the throat or the larynx. Nervous system is the cervical plexus. Vagus nerve branches. Endocrine organ associations of the thyroid gland, metabolism, growth, temperature regulation, parathyroid glands, calcium balance, Metaphysiological chakra themes are communication, expression, truth, resonance, clarity, authenticity. Third eye chakra, ajna, pineal gland, brow region. We're going to go through these a little bit faster because we're going to go through the resonating sounds and we're going to go to polarity and rhythm. Physiological correlates location between the eyebrows, forebrain, optic pathways, endocrine organ associations, pineal gland, melatonin, circadian rhythm. Metaphysiological chakra themes: intuition, insight, perception, inner vision, imagination, symbolic thinking. Crown chakra, Sahasrara. Pituitary gland, crown region. Physiological correlates, I said pituitary gland, no, location, top of the head, nervous system, cerebral cortex, limbic system, endocrine organ associations, pituitary gland, master regulator of hormones. Hypothalamic pituitary axis. Metaphysiological chakra themes: consciousness, unity, transcendence, higher awareness, spiritual integration. Okay, so this is pretty much a chart laying out everything that we laid out, but we got one more paradigm into the question. So I say the layout is fire, but aside from that, no touchscreen, no. But I say, can you add the resonating sounds for the metaphysical centers during meditation in the frequencies when vibrating the mantras? Why we're adding the resonating sounds is, like I said, what goes up must come down. We are operating with the universal laws, but we are here on the planet Earth. We are also operating with laws of such as gravity. So what goes up must come down, including your frequency. And so this is a huge Bruce Lee quote that I like to refer to. I'm not going to say the whole long quote, but in the end, pretty much he says, water flows or it can crash. Be like water. But like if it goes up, comes down, water is also air, like in condensation. So it depends on the frequency and how high it's vibrating. So like I said, your low resonation, you can come down as water, you can come down as low as earth if you want to. But your earth can be totally different if you understand the frequency and vibration of that earth. Or you can come down as water and you don't even want to come down to earth. You want to come down to water, to stay water, be water. Understand water can flow or it can crash. If water crashes, it's more than likely earth because it's being more dense. But if it flows, bring it back up, change the frequency just to condense it back up into the air. Understand that to help with that condensation, you need earth though. But get that frequency back up into the air. Again, like we said, high frequency is short wavelength. So recognize when you up in high frequency, then what do they call that? What do they call that when you have that forethought? Then predict when you're going to come down and feel those when you're coming down. Feel when you're coming through the chakras, like when you're feeling negative. Like if you're coming down through the heart and you're not feeling compassionate, you're not feeling like you feel forgiving the people, or if anything happened, you're not feeling forgiving or compassionate, or you're not feeling empathy of what's going on. You coming from the upper to the lower again through the heart, but the negative archon aspect of it coming down to the solar plexus. If you're not feeling confident, if you're not feeling willful, if your metabolic cycle seems to be off, your digestion seems to be off. You coming down through the negative archon of the solar plexus, sacral region. If you're feeling lustful, you're not feeling creative, you got a creative block going on. If you got your imagination isn't going on, if you're a daydreamer and all of a sudden you stop having daydreams, you coming down through the negative archon of your sacral region. If you coming down and you feel paranoid, you having these thoughts, you worried about what's going on with this part of your life physically, this can't be paid, this bill, that bill, you coming down through the negative aspect of the root. Now this is where we're going to step into this next question with these mantras to help you. Once you understand and you recognize if you're coming down to the negative aspect, you use these mantras to re-raise your frequency, to vibrate back up through the positive aspects, because these mantras is going to vibrate positively and put you back up into that high short wave ultraviolet frequency. My bad for the long explanation. I appreciate it if you stay with me, like and subscribe. So chakra region mantra, resonant frequency, Muladhara, buttocks growing region. And I know people's going to say they don't want to resonate with the chakra region. It's important because remember, if you vibrate so high without being grounded, that's when the body loses resonance, but your mentality, your brain then starts to vibrate too fast and anxiety may occur. So you may need to ground. And that sound is lum, lum. Grounding, stabilizing, downward, moving vibration. Common meditation frequency 256 hertz or 396 hertz, often used for grounding, releasing fear and stabilizing the energetic body. I'm not going to go through all these sounds for all of these centers because you can pull them up on YouTube if you're interested. You can go along with those. Sacral chakras, Svadhisthana, sacral coccyx region, mantra sound bum, fluid creative sensual resonance. Common meditation frequency 288 hertz or 417 hertz, associated with emotional flow, creativity, and clearing stagnant energy. Solar plexus chakra, Manipura, solar plexus region, mantra sound ram, ram, ram. Strong, fiery, activating tone. Common meditation frequency 320 hertz or 528 hertz, used for empowerment, confidence, and personal transformation. Heart chakra, Anahata, the heart chest region, mantra sound. Yam. Airy, open, expansive vibration. Common meditation frequency 341 or 639 hertz. Linked to compassion, emotional healing, and relational harmony. Throat chakra, Vishuddha, thyroid or throat region, mantra sound. Hum, resonant, clarifying, expressive. Common meditation frequency 384 hertz or 741 hertz. Used for communication, truth, and clearing energetic blockages in the voice. Third eye chakra, ajna and pineal gland, brow region. Mantra sound, we know the Om. Primordial vibration, deep, penetrating, harmonizing. Common meditation frequency 428 hertz or 852 hertz, associated with intuition, insight, expanded perception. The crown chakra, Sahasrara, the pituitary, crown region, mantra sound, silence or Om. Many traditions use no sound here, emphasizing stillness. Common meditation frequency is 480 hertz or 963 hertz. Used for transcendence, unity, consciousness, and spiritual connection. This lesson of AI, coupled with polarity and rhythm, will help you balance the pendulum, actually control once you've have understanding of the lesson of vibration, once you've increased your frequency, once you know how to consciously and autonomously increase your frequency, then you understand your frequency has to have a yoke, the importance of yoga. And when your frequency has a yoke, because it doesn't even have to be yoga, but the breathing techniques and the resonance of audible resonance to control your frequency, you'll understand when your energy is going back down, cycling through the chakras and energy centers. If there's a blockage in those centers and you're feeling negative when the energy's going back down, everything that goes up must come back down. Then you may need to tune those centers using the rhythm, using the audible sounds, using the mantras, if you will. Bring yourself back into alignment and balance. Man, have a great, blessed day. Peace.